Hello everyone, welcome back to Trek A Day. I just finished the latest episode of Strange New Worlds, and I was pleasantly surprised with this one. The previews made it look a little silly, really focused on the humor aspect of the episode, and while obviously given the silly situation, it was an episode that had a lot of humor, that actually wasn't the primary focus, and it wasn't quite as ridiculous as the previews for the episode would imply. While on a shuttle, Spock and Christine Chapel are pulled into an anomaly, and Spock's DNA is altered to where he is fully human, and that is where the humor comes about, as Spock is then forced to go through a very traditional Vulcan dinner ritual with T'Pring and her family, as Nurse Chapel struggles to figure out how to fix Spock, bring him back to normal, realizes she can't, and then it turns to her trying to convince the species that altered him that they fixed him incorrectly. Also tying into her subplot of wanting to get into an internship at the Vulcan Medical Institute to study archaeological medicine, and she realizes that she's actually in a better place here and can get more direct hands-on experience, and she's really in a better spot to do what she wants to do. And the main focus of the episode that I really enjoyed was, instead of just being this silly situation, there was a little bit sort of a montage of Spock getting into situations, relating it to how he would normally behave versus now that he's fully human and experiencing emotions and different aspects of his friendships and living on the Enterprise in a different light. It was really more about relationships, both romantic and familial, and did a good job of exploring those. The best part of the entire episode for me, and the best appearance though, was my wife's namesake, Amanda. Spock's mother, Amanda Grayson, comes to help guide Spock through this difficult situation, as their families are a bit at odds, and T'Pring's mother in particular, she's very overbearing, it's much more the mother than her father, does not approve of Spock whatsoever, primarily because of his half-human heritage. And I love the way they explored the relationship between Spock and his mother, and him through that situation for the first time in his life truly understanding the hardship that she went through living on Vulcan. Primarily because when it comes to Spock and his relationship with his parents, it focuses in the majority of the stories all the way back to TOS, even in a lot of the books in TNG, it always focuses on Sarek, the father-son relationship, and the relationship that he has with his mother, at least what is typically examined, is usually in reference to his relationship with his father. It's usually her acting as sort of a buffer between the two of them, trying to be that person that is a bit of the mediator. It rarely focuses directly on Spock's relationship just to his mother without the aspect of his father coming to be involved in the situation. So I really enjoyed the one-on-one with them and loved the way her character worked out throughout the story of the episode, and definitely a great performance as well. So for me, that was my highlight personally, was Amanda through this episode. I think she was the thing that gave it a very emotional grounding, and was ended up being a good exploration of the familial relationships involved in Spock's life, and was less of just a silly situation. It could very much have dove more into the just kind of quirky humor element, and that could have been the majority of the episode, and I think it would have hurt it. Instead, it didn't. So this was a pleasant surprise. It was a better episode than I thought, given the previews, and I found it to be quite enjoyable.